everybody, welcome to my channel. Welcome to all the new subscribers. Welcome back to the old subscribers. I'm doing some monthly readings for August, going by views from last month. And I'm on the sign of Capricorn. So we'll see what the messages are for you guys. I feel like you guys are trying to heal from something. You're kind of just figuring out what it is that you truly want. I think that you're going to need to move away from either someone or something in your life. I think that you need to have a conversation with someone when it comes to an equal give and take, but I feel like there's a lot of drama around this person. There's a lot of fighting. There's a lot of other people involved, and there's some things that you need to heal from. So you're kind of like going within and, you know, kind of seeking your own truth in the matter. I think that there's definitely a decision that you guys need to make about how to do things the right way, whether it's putting time into the situation. You guys have someone who is still doing things behind your back. It could be a water sign trying to come in and offer you love, but they're still really shady. And you don't, I think that you want to cut them out of your life, but you haven't really told them how you feel. Instead, you're kind of keeping yourself mentally conflicted about this, even though that you want to start something new. There's a change in direction, maybe when it comes to an air sign as well. Something happened where you're kind of defensive, kind of like not really sure if you want to fight for this anymore. Someone you're dealing with has got some pretty major mental things going on. The message is just on Capricorn for August 2018. Because there's a love offer that I think you're thinking about, and you want to take action on it, whether it's you giving it or someone giving it to you, but you're not really saying much about it. You're kind of taking a second to kind of think, kind of being defensive a little bit when it comes to emotions, because for some of you there was a pretty painful ending with this person in the past, someone who kind of left you feeling a lot of loss and regrets. Could be children involved, but I feel like there's something that you know that you want to do. You know, a new start that you want to take. It could be balancing your emotions out. It could be kind of figuring out how to get to this balance of an equal give and take with something that you're manifesting, but at the same time there's somebody who's still being really petty in your life, someone who just wants to fight. There's a lot of disagreements. There's a lot of things that I feel like you try to just let go of, but you know that there's a decision that you need to make about leaving someone behind, and it could be a water sign for some of you. Some of you did have to leave a water sign behind, maybe for another person. You have the Strength card, so I feel like you're trying to get over some things. You're trying to ground yourselves. You're kind of feeling like you're stuck, so you're spending some time by yourself, especially when it comes to a soulmate that you know that you possibly need to move away from, or maybe there's a soulmate that you're trying to go back to, someone that you're really attracted to that you could see this stable beginning with, but you know that there's some things that you need to leave behind. There could have been a really big blowout that caused you to be kind of closed off with your emotions. There's some healing that needs to happen, especially when it comes to all this stress and these thoughts that you're having in your head. There's definitely heartbreak here when it comes to someone who had another person. So you're not really opening up with how you feel, but I feel like you do know what you want. There's definitely love here for some of you. Could be with a Gemini, but I feel like there's just some confusion about this change of direction that you're taking in your life, and you know that it's going to be having to cut someone out, because I think that you have an air sign and possibly a water sign or a Scorpio. You're not really revealing what way you want to go with this person, because I feel like you know that there's some toxic energy here, so you're kind of paying attention, trying to trust your intuition. I feel like there was a relationship that made you really happy, or you know that in order to get to that, you're going to have to put some time in. I think that there's someone who you want to have another chance with, but you haven't really told them. Or there's more than one person coming at you for this new beginning, but you're just kind of like trying to stabilize yourself, and then there's a lot of fighting in this situation, and you know that you want to move away from it, and it could be a marriage for some of you. You guys are comfortable with someone who, you know, you feel like is your wish come true, that's really caring and stuff about you, but you want to try something new with them, but I feel like, you know, your guides are really telling you that there's still someone being really deceptive in your corner. Someone's still doing things behind your back. Someone's still involved with more than one person. So you're kind of, you know, waiting for your ships to come in, putting some time in. You do have a soulmate here. Someone you're kind of keeping an eye on. Someone you're trying to make a choice about. Because I do see that this is like growth and expansion, but you're kind of set in your ways. Kind of moving really slowly when it comes to kind of balancing some things out in your life, even though there is a new passionate start here. Some of you guys are trying to keep the right boundaries up with someone who you have in your life. I think that you figured out, you know, who your true twin is, but you're just kind of mentally conflicted about someone. It could be the mother of your children. There could be some other things going on. Some of you guys might have some, your mother might be having health issues right now. I see that you guys are thinking a lot about stability. You guys are thinking a lot about, you know, who you really want to offer love to and what you're really going to accept, because you are being defensive about, you're kind of keeping your guard up when it comes to your feelings because you're not really sure. I think that you guys are on the right path, however, with the Wheel of Fortune here. You've been enlightened about some type of ending that was here, something that happened where there was a lot of loss and regret with a water sign perhaps, or maybe there was an ending with an air sign for some of you. I think that you're just kind of in contemplation mode because you can see that how things can move forward for you in a certain situation, but you also see how you're going to have to defend yourself against other people who might be trying to come back in and ruin that for you. Some people who kind of cut you where it hurts, some people who kind of hurt you pretty badly, and you have an idea about what you want to do, but I don't know if you're moving towards it or not. I think that you want to try something new. You want to kind of start over, but there's some things that you do need to heal from. Some of you guys really do need to pay attention to your thoughts. There might be somebody in your life that has some things going on. They're really mentally conflicted. Maybe you guys are trying to repair a relationship with someone in your life. Something that happened as a child, and trying to kind of make things better for them. Trying to help them. But I do see you guys moving forward, possibly with a soulmate, but you need to have a conversation about this stress and things that you guys are carrying a lot of burdens. Some of you guys are really scared when it comes to, I think you're really, for some reason you're scared to be happy because you feel like something bad is going to happen if you were to get together with this person, because when it comes to love, you want to learn a new way to do this. You want to love without the regret, without the loss, without the heartbreak. And I think that's why you've always kind of held back about how you feel towards another person, because you guys want someone, you guys are very attracted to someone who kind of gets a lot of attention, but it kind of leaves you stuck in your head about having this new beginning, even though this is what you truly want. You truly want this new beginning with this other person, but you're still dealing with someone in your life who has another person, possibly someone you're married to. Someone, all you really wanted from them was an equal give and take, but they just aren't really offering a lot of emotions. I feel like you receive some enlightenment about what things that are being done behind your back, and you're trying to balance yourself out and kind of get your money together, not really revealing your feelings about this other person that you truly do care about. Some of you guys, it's your counterpart. I think that you're trying to balance your life out, but you're leaving someone confused, or you're just really confused about how to move forward because you're trying to stabilize your life and kind of keep the right boundaries with other people. I think that you know what you want to do, and for right now that means kind of moving away from some things, moving away from people that are all about conflict, maybe moving away from this mental conflict, because maybe just knowing that you can get through this, that you do need to kind of be self-defensive, kind of take control so that you guys can move forward in your life. Because you're tired of the dishonesty and the running away and the affairs. You know, you're tired of this mental conflict. You don't really want to think about it anymore. I think that you want to try something new. You know, you want to move forward into something that you truly want, but it's like, you know the truth. I think that you just don't really know how to tell this other person kind of about themselves in a way because they're so self-centered. Very jealous, very obsessive, very unstable, very scattered, in and out, insecure, impulsive, overbearing, and you don't really want to deal with it anymore. You know that there's someone in your life where there could be a new start. There's someone who there is growth and expansion with. But you're just very stubborn and you need to make a decision, but you know that would mean leaving someone out, and you want to make a decision about this person who's being very manipulative, very drama-filled, very deceptive. And you've been enlightened about that. You know about this, so you're kind of keeping your feelings to yourself. And if they are offering you something, you're kind of like pretending like you're listening, but I don't think you're really going to take it. You're just kind of letting them think what they want to think because you know how toxic they are. And you're letting them kind of pretend that, letting them think that they're being influential in your life, but in reality, you're the one that knows what to do. You're the one that kind of knows the truth. And you know what way you want to move. And for some of you, that's walking away from a marriage that was built on a pretty faulty ground, I think. Some of you guys, maybe you don't really want a reconciliation for someone that's coming back in your life. Instead, you want it with someone else, but you're kind of afraid that they're not going to accept it for some reason. Because in the past, there was, when you guys would come together, it just ended up being like one person felt more than the other person. So you're kind of like talking to your friends about it, and you're like, you know, they want you to know you deserve love and that you're lovable. The way that this other person treated you wasn't fair. They said, you know, worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work in your love life. That you do have someone that's worth it coming into your life. It's true love, you know. And to keep an open mind because your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. I think that you kind of second guessed it because this person wasn't anything like what you thought it would be, you know. I think that trust is kind of a big issue. It's calling for you to have faith. I think that you're used to being this structured person, you know. I think that there's someone you have a lot of respect for. Someone that you know there's a partnership, that there's a balance between two people, but you just haven't really told them how you feel. It's time to have that conversation. For some of you, there's a past life relationship. Someone that you need to get to know. As you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. And forgiving and learning, as you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments. Or someone you need to let go of. Someone you need to express your love to. Go ahead and make the romantic gesture. Kind of, you know, not really putting on that mask. For some of you do have new love with a lot of chemistry. A new person has stirred your romantic feelings, and there's a strong magnetic attraction here. Someone you want to tell them how you feel, you just haven't. But you do need to release kind of those old things because there's been a lot of blocks in the way for this relationship to start because of the things that are like throwing off the energy. Someone who is pretty chaotic to your life. And it's like almost like this oppression because it's like you haven't let this tower come in and take it away. I think that you're just really confused because you've been in this like level of illusion because this person just really fucked your head up and did a motion on your emotions, did a number on your emotions. And you haven't had a whole lot of closure because the cycle hasn't ended the way that it should. Very disruptive and chaotic. Too much, like very, very selfish person that you're dealing with. I think that you want to walk away from this because you know that it's abusive and you know that it's toxic. But it's like there's a lot of sadness and depression that you're kind of your thoughts are being clouded with. And they want you to take the blindfold off and see things for what they are. Because you could miss an opportunity with someone in your life that you're kind of meant to be with. And in a way, you're kind of wasting time. And I know that you guys don't want them to decline your offer of love when you finally do move on and forgive this situation. Something where there is an equal give and take, where there's two people kind of, you know, something that you wished for. I think that you're tired of the breakup, you're tired of the separation, you're tired of the arguments. I think that you're just kind of confused because this person that you want this equal give and take with doesn't really say how they feel. They're kind of disconnected with their feelings, even though you guys know this is your twin. You know, you're thinking a lot about them, you know what you want to do. Maybe you're just unsure about how they feel, even though this is someone that you wanted for a long time. You just kind of ran away from your feelings. And you are attached to them, but I think that you guys are kind of burying yourselves in your work. What do you know? The single card. You know, trying to have that take the place of your feelings, you know, kind of being about your money, which isn't a bad thing, but maybe there's someone who needs your help, someone that helped you out a lot in the past. And, you know, this does require you kind of moving and traveling towards them. And kind of making that decision for once and for all about this motherly figure that you have in your life. Or just for yourself, because you're the true influence of the situation. And you have clarity and there's something that you want to say, but you know that that's going to require leaving somebody behind. So that love can come in the right way. So no more holding back. You don't be afraid of the change. I think that something could be really good, but you're just disconnected from your feelings. And that might end up in you being left, and I don't think that's what you want. All this mental conflict, all this person that was only about themselves. You know that this person that you're dealing with or have was that way on purpose because of their mental state. You know that the way that they are with their feelings is something that you know, that they're only about themselves, and you need to move on and forgive this person. Start living in the past because, or maybe they're living in the past because you've had the clarity about this and you don't want to lose another person, but at the same time, I think you are losing them. It's time to have a conversation, Capricorn, especially when it comes to your soulmate and your twin. Stop being stuck in your head and move towards what it is that you want. You know what it is. Stop being afraid of this heartbreak, because maybe, you know, nothing lasts forever, but at the same time, if this is your soulmate, then tell them how you feel. All these good feelings that you have, you know, I think that you're afraid of what other people have to say. It's kind of why you feel like you're stuck, even though I think that this is kind of something new to you, so that's why you're kind of like moving really slow towards it, and you kind of feel like you're stuck, but at the same time it's like gaining a different perspective on how to move forward. And I think that you have the wisdom for this, and you know that there's something you need to move on from, and especially these feelings of loss and regret that you have. Or maybe this is how this other person feels. Maybe they felt like they had to move away from you because of the way that things ended, that there was all this loss and regret and grief here. Yeah, see, there's a water sign perhaps for some of you that's kind of pulling themselves away because of these feelings. They don't want to feel those feelings anymore either, and they put a lot of time into this, or maybe saw this as a long-term investment, but you need to put time in too for this to be stable, you know. I think that's something that you know. You don't really want this to end with them, but there are some things that you need to release in your life because there's someone that you want, but thinking a lot about it, maybe you're grounding yourself emotionally, kind of you're gonna forgive someone. I think that you're moving on from someone that you know that you need to forgive, kind of taking control, thinking about your next move, and kind of, you know, making that move. And I think that they want you to make a move towards your happiness because you know what that is. But along with that is coming out of the fear and illusion, saying how you feel, and releasing the old shit. And for some of you, it was a pretty bad heartbreak. I think that you guys want to apologize to someone in your life, and but you're afraid of what they would say, because you are kind of attached to them. So you're stuck in your head. But I feel like you've learned what you needed to learn, and you're ready to make a decision. You know the truth, and maybe you want someone to tell you the truth. Maybe you want to tell the truth. Especially when it comes to a soulmate that you kind of held back from. I feel like you're changing that though. But you don't really want to hold back from them anymore, but you're still kind of in retreat mode. Someone you kind of had to walk away from. Someone you're kind of still keeping an eye on. I think you need to move forward and stop being so stubborn. Anyways, that's all I have for you guys. Have a good night.